2, 1. Hey!
Hi, everybody.
Hello!
It is such a relaxing day today. Is it relaxing?
It's kind of relaxing, yeah.
We are kicking off Developer Chat number 7. It is Friday, June,
almost July.
June the 30th.
June the 30th.
And I can foresee that there might be a few people watching the chat today who just decided they didn't want to do work today.
This is what I hope.
Yes, because it's like Canada Day this weekend on Saturday, and we also have Independence Day for the United States for the American fans.
Uh-oh. July 4th. I mean,
July 4th.
Yeah.
So
hey, we got somebody watching. Yay.
If you're watching, would you please just leave us a little comment? That's really helpful for us to know that you are indeed, you can hear us. Can you hear us?
Everything should be good.
Can you hear us? So thank you. I could show the comments.
Woohoo!
Okay, look at that. So if you can leave a comment, that would be really great. Hi, Brianna.
Hey, Brianna.
Nice to see you. And it's very nice to see you. So welcome, and we're going to have a fun podcast today. We'll try and keep it short, but we always say that.
We always say that.
We always say that. So thank you for tuning in. I am Jean Leggett. I am the CEO and head bossy pants of One More Story Games.
Tell me about it.
Yes, and this is...
Hi, I'm Blair Leggett, and I'm the techie guy for...
And the guy that's been held hostage for 21 years. Help. So we are going to be talking today.
We got some stuff to show you.
Yes, my pretties. We are going to show you a little bit about a little bit of the art.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to show them one.
Just to get you started.
Just a little tease.
We'll get more into that, about why and sort of what that means and all that.
And towards there's going to be a lot of stuff that's happening in July and August.
We
and
lost
September.
Ellen. No.
And don't make her feel bad. She might have had to go for a coffee.
Maybe.
So that's okay. I have my coffee here.
You got your coffee. I got my water, so that's good.
So anyways, let us not lose focus.
No.
We have a tendency to do that.
We do.
We do. So thank you very much for
what's the big thing we want to
for tuning in. Okay, so if you missed out on a previous podcast, what you need to know is, there you go. See?
Okay.
Ellen's here. She's with us.
Go to the agenda and...
we're doing it again, dear.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We get into this.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I see. You wanted me to click on the thing. Okay. Charlaine is coming. So you wanted me to click on the button so that it will show up on the video. There you go. I get it, dear.
You got it.
I got it. Okay. I'm on it.
I'm usually trying to help.
Well, So on July the 28th, on Friday, July the 28th, we will have our live podcast chat. And Charlaine herself will be on the episode, which is super exciting. So we're going to tell you how, starting next week, we're going to tell you how you can submit your questions to us.
Yeah.
We're going to use the hashtag LilyBard. You can submit your questions via Twitter, via Facebook, and we're going to compile all those questions.
Yeah.
And heck, we might even do a call-in. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. So
we can certainly take some of your questions, and if they're
yes.
topical, then we can forward them along.
Yes, and so you all know, if you're a huge Charlaine fan and following her other page, that her new show comes out on the 24th, and everybody's primed and excited, and you've been re-listening to Midnight Texas.
I have, yeah.
So, and I just finished up Shakespeare's Champion last night for the second or third time, and been listening to those on audiobooks. So I'm looking forward to revisiting Shakespeare's Christmas as well. It's
a little different this time now that you're sort of gone through the detail we're starting to go through, right?
Well, especially with the kind of work that we've been doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So July 28th, you won't want to miss that podcast. And we're super excited about that.
Yeah.
All right. So we have that. And so we really wanted to do just a quick touch base about last week's show, because last week's show was, how would you describe it?
Well, we're starting to sort of show the seriousness of some of the darker issues that Charlaine sort of talks about. And we just want to sort of follow up on that. We covered a lot of great issues, I think, and sort of showed how we're going to handle dealing with Lily's trauma and sort of how that defines her as a character, and sort of how we're going to do that trigger system in the game.
And by trigger system, you mean?
That certain things will emotionally trigger Lily. Okay. And so you'll know firsthand what it's like to be a survivor of that kind of violent crime. And that's...
In a game sense.
In a game
yes,
sense. Yeah,
yes,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah. There are consequences to the violence, and that is what our game is showing.
And I certainly wouldn't want anybody to ever go through that experience. So we're not creating a VR intensive world around the heavy nature of the sexual violence that is described in the book.
But just showing the arc of her character and how she gets better at it, right?
Yeah. So we have, we're blasting through our agenda, mostly because, it's a long weekend.
Just sorry, can I go back to the woman games thing?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
I mean, it's really, for us, it's dealing with it in a healthy way. It's not easy, and that's what we tried to get into in the last show, is to really talk about just how important that is to us. And that it is topical for not just women, but just as an issue.
It's very topical. We dove really in depth. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, please go back and visit episode number 6 and have a good listen to it. I mean, Charlaine is covering some very mature topics, which in the video game industry, we really don't dive into. Like we've started to see some games exploring depression and cancer, and we talked about that in previous episodes. War and refugee trauma. Yep. And so
serious games,
and that's something that we're really passionate about, being part of the serious games community. We even talked about Cold Furnace Studios in the last episode and how they're working on their game on human trafficking.
Yeah.
So, I'm personally very proud that we already have a wide range of games. So we have our dark comedies, we have our cyberpunk murder mystery, we have some irreverent political satire.
Yes.
And then we're going to have, Charlaine's work, which is a really great mystery, but with some deeper undertones there.
But a great character study, right?
Yes.
That's really what we've tried to get to in our designs.
Yes.
Which leads into the pre-production.
So I just want to say thank you for everybody that's joining in. And Brianna says she's almost finished Shakespeare's Christmas. Way to go. I will be diving back into that probably tonight.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it as an audio series, and I think the lady that does the performance reading is fantastic. And that right now, that's actually my favorite way to consume books. I have like a huge stack of books on my Kindle, digital stack on my Kindle. And sometimes I don't have the mental fortitude to sort of like pick up a book and read. So
that's a good comment.
Thank you, Ellen. So Ellen says, I'm glad you're not glossing over the heavy issues in the Lily Bard books. It's the way Charlaine doesn't shy away from the tough stuff that makes the series so real and meaningful.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And, as I'm reading through Shakespeare's Champion, I certainly don't remember the racial conflict. Like that wasn't fresh in my mind when I said, hey, let's sign up to do that one as well. And I don't know, maybe it's because we're Canadians, maybe it's because of where we've lived. We've always lived in multicultural cities like Vancouver and San Francisco, not so much Dallas, but and in Toronto as well. We're used to living in a multicultural, very tolerant society. So going through and
you weren't aware of it,
the book, well, I see other people. I see other people make stupid racist comments, and I try to call them out on it, because if you don't call them out on it, you are a bystander and you are enabling people to make those kinds of comments, whether it's misogynist or racist or classist. I would like to be a more tolerant person, and we talked about that. What is the end goal for people who are experiencing this particular series of games that we're making?
Yeah.
It would be amazing for people to come away with more empathy and understanding of what it's like to be someone else.
Yeah.
So yes, I think we picked some humdingers, and I'm really proud that we're going to be creating this series and hopefully ushering in a new genre of, like, our target audience is smart women who like smart books by smart authors.
Do you know any smart women?
I know lots of smart women. They are watching this podcast. I am one myself. And, you know,
that's not me being facetious. That is truly and that's an attitude, I think, of the games market in general, or marketing in general. I think that we're going after an audience that is underappreciated in that way.
Well, I downloaded Solitaire onto my phone, the Microsoft version, which is the free to play. And I'm just seeing all of the game ads on there thinking, is this really what they think women want to play? Like, yeah, I play mind-numbing games like the puzzle games and stuff like that, but there is room for smart games.
There's room for so much more.
Which I feel like we talk about on every episode, but I always like to say it. There's room for more. So
what was the big landmark or milestone we hit this week?
What was the big milestone? I don't know what you mean.
Well, we sort of have said we're now kind of done pre-pro.
Oh,
and what does that mean?
So in game development, and actually in film and in any sort of development process, you have what's called pre-production. And for us, pre-production is we wanted to lay out a whole bunch of things, especially because we are going to be sending that off to Charlaine. Today is our deadline to do that, so we'll be doing that. So we're actually putting together a package for Charlaine. And if you're kind of curious to know what are the things that we put in there, excuse me, location art. So she's getting some sketches of some of the locations that we've done to date. We're going to show you one of them. Some character art. So we have almost finalized the Lily, but we're not going to show you until probably next month. Like we want you to be like, ah, when you see Lily.
Yeah.
And we also have Marshall and Claude. Mr. Friedrich. So we also have Claude as well. So she's going to see those initial arts and sketches, and then we're going to be doing more of those over July and August. So
we've done some write-ups.
We have done some write-ups. Okay, can I just say that I'm super excited? We have come up. So if you are the diehard fan and you're playing this game and you're like, how could they possibly surprise us because so and so committed the crime. See, I'm not giving the spoilers away this time. So-and-so committed the crime.
It was the dog all the time.
We've mixed it up for you.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be possibly going to be two ways that you could play it. You could play like the diehard true to the novel.
We call that the authentic route.
Well, you know.
Sure. It's authentic to the story, right?
Sure.
And then
the creative one, where I personally think that that's the one we should focus on, because then everybody gets a new experience.
Yeah.
And so, Ellen, you won't know who done it.
So this is the alternate story.
This is the alternate story, and it still is true within the Lily Bard universe.
Yeah.
Because Neil and Blair, they read the entire series when they were coming up with the game flow documents. And making sure that whodunit isn't a key character, you know, later on in the series. So if you are a diehard, you would be able to narrow it down a little bit. So Charlaine will be getting a copy of the story flow right up today. And you might remember from our very first conversation that we have to rename one of the characters. And I'm not quite sure if we need to rename the whole family, but...
No, just the one.
Well, we'll talk to Charlaine.
We'll talk to Charlaine.
We're not the boss.
That's right.
We're not the boss.
That is true. Charlaine's the boss.
Bobo the Winthrop. Bobo was in Midnight Texas, which means that NBC owns the rights to Bobo Winthrop's name and his character. So Charlaine, that was part of the agreement that we...
I don't know if we can really talk too much about that per se, but we'll be renaming Bobo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people are going to ask.
That's true.
People are going to ask, going to say, hey, what happened to the Winthrops? So I'm not sure if it's going to be the Winthrops or if they're going to be the Smiths or the Jacksons or what they'll be. So that'll be kind of exciting to see if it's a new name or if we just call him Bobby.
So we'll see.
So
that's part of sort of the feedback this is ongoing. You get to see how this is all made, which is kind of cool.
And then maybe next week we'll be able to tell you what his new name will be. We'll have a little christening party.
That's right.
And maybe we'll have a little bit of champagne in the afternoon.
So just going back to the sort of the story flow thing.
Yes.
This was one of our big problems that we had initially of just how do we make it interesting for people who are familiar with the book. And that's one of the ways that we're going to be able to do it. You'll be able to, I mean, it's the same start, but it will take a completely different path.
Now, our goal is that by the end of July, that you'll be able to play the first 5 minutes of the game. So you'll actually get to discover the body and make a decision point there, whether or not you're going to involve the police right away, whether you investigate.
There's lots of choices.
Yes. So if you would like to sign up to check out and be one of our early bird testers of just that short fragment of the game, we would love your feedback.
Yeah.
So head on over to lilybard.com and sign up for that email list, because only the people on the email list will be notified of that opportunity. So there's that. We have actually, because we've now had all 5 books studied intensively, we have like the full map of Shakespeare mapped out.
That is, yeah, that's one of the other things that we'll be handing off, just to sort of show the model of the town and sort of how everything's going to fit together. And that's kind of cool.
I know for me, like I'm really curious to, the question I have a lot of questions that I want to ask Charlaine, but I mean, she wrote this series over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how much she has thought about the series since then.
Yeah.
I know she has said repeatedly that she doesn't have any plans to go back and work with the Lily Bard character, but yeah, I'd love to know, what is her process? Did she do up a map? Did she do up family trees? Something
from just her own background of what she knew and was just writing about it. It's one of her earlier novels. But...
Now, you said that you caught, was it a typo or?
Yeah, but we're not dwelling on that, right?
No, but it was interesting because either the Audible book reader mispronounced the name.
No, it's in the text.
So it's in the text.
It's in the text,
okay.
Yeah.
So a person's name in the book is actually only mentioned once in this one book, and then the name is similar in the rest of the novels. So I thought that was interesting. Ellen, I'm so glad that you're signed up. Yay, Ellen. See, Ellen is on it. And also people who are on the email list will have an opportunity to win the VIP package for our launch party, which is on October the 11th in Toronto, Canada. It will be exciting. Yeah. So you get to do all the hard work and I get to plan the party. Yes, because
that's typically how it works, guys.
Well, I know what canapes are good.
All right. So we've got this narrative chart that's getting more and more complicated as we're going along.
Yes.
But that's to help us sort of that we can test stuff and see sort of where the path is going. Charlaine might be interested in that kind of thing, but it's just sort of interesting to see where the story will veer off, and you can start to identify consequences. Like if you don't talk to somebody soon enough, there are other consequences down the road. If you delay something, that gives you problems later on.
Well, and just to give folks the behind the scenes, I mean, in our instance, when we approached Charlaine to ask for the rights for the novel, there are certain things that you agree on in the contract. And I mean, Charlaine certainly gets to put her stamp of approval on the game, but the level of her involvement is completely up to her. Yeah. And we're super excited that she has been commenting on art and videos behind the scenes, and she's happy with what she's seen so far. And so it really helps us keep going when people hang out and spend their Friday 3 o'clock with us. Yes.
Do you want to do a screen share now? Can we do that?
Ooh,
is that
okay? So you keep talking while I look.
All right. So this has been the big thing of starting with Lily's house, is trying to nail down just what the look in, and I mean, we can even show you the progression of sort of looks as we've been working on stuff. So for us, it's been great just to sort of hone that. We're getting into that working flow with Anthony, our artist.
Now, I have no idea how to do a screen share on here.
Go to the menu up there.
Menu. No, I don't think we should. I don't think we should experiment with that. I'm nervous.
We should have done this beforehand, huh?
Yeah. Why don't we? Do you know what would be? Yeah, let's just take that other monitor and stick it in front of the camera.
Flip that around. Yeah, that won't work. What
You
can
know
we
what?
do?
We're going to post it. We could post it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to head over to the Facebook page. Blair, keep talking.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, and I mean, it has been this process of nailing down what that look is for Lily, and I think one of the more interesting things is about dealing with and working with Lily's character is that she does keep it fairly. She keeps her house fairly functional. I mean, that's her control, is by keeping her place clean. That is what she does within her world to have control. So, okay, here it goes.
Okay, so I am posting that. It is now on the Lily Bard Facebook page. The first look at Lily's bedroom.
And that's just showing sort of the real style of the art that we're headed for.
Yes, and the kind of thing that you can expect. I love the level of attention that Anthony has put into this room. And
just so you know, she's staring at over
here. Oh, yeah, sorry. So I'm looking at the second monitor and looking at the picture of the bedroom. For those of you who have clicked on the image, we've got there's like a dead rose there. So it's like, who is that dead rose from? And is that rose always there?
Actually, now that I know Shakespeare's Christmas, I know who that could be from.
Oh, but would it still be there in this game?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, that would fit. That would really fit.
Oh, Brianna, you like it. Yay.
Okay, good.
Ellen, we would love your feedback on the photo as well. Like I'm
it's
super
not a
excited.
photo, it's a drawing.
I know. It looks like a photo. I think Anthony did really a phenomenal job on that. And so
certain things are still being tweaked. And I mean, Anthony would be the first person. I'm defending Anthony here in this case.
This is like 95% complete. There's little things like we want to maybe
change the background of the window in there. And
we don't need to nitpick in front of.
No, that's fine.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
But like, for example, I think Lily would have a coaster underneath her cup. So, well, Ellen, you can't check it out right now, but we look forward to your comments on it.
Yeah.
And
check out our Facebook page.
You know, it's funny. We go through iterations of art, and it's been interesting to work with in the past with some of our artists. We haven't had the luxury of being able to go through a lot of revisions. So we'll just get art and we're like, great, put it in the game.
Do you want to put a link to our broadcast next to the picture that we're talking about it right now?
I can do that afterwards.
Okay.
Yes, because otherwise it gets a little bit confusing.
Okay.
And, but you know, as we were going through this first iteration of the bedroom, what colors are Lily going to be drawn to? And the first version of it there was a lot of pink in there. And this is like gentle rose undertones. It feels like 1995.
I can really see the fadedness of the...
Oh, you're talking about the little...
isn't that great?
On the top of the ceiling there.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's little touches like that. And I have to wonder, you know, was it like that when Lily moved in? Is Lily a secret interior decorator wannabe? Or did she just be like, hey, this is the way that it was when I moved in?
She's functional. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I like that she's got the full body mirror.
Yeah.
Although, yeah. And and then so we're working on Lily's house. So there's the room with her punching bag, right?
Yeah, second bedroom.
Her second bedroom.
A little bit in the bathroom, her living room, her kitchen.
So you're going to be able to explore all of those locations and get a sense of what Lily is like. Instead of just reading it in a book, you'll be able to see all of these.
Exploring her world, right?
And it's so exciting. So I would love, for those of you who are like total word nerds and book lovers, if you want to give us some suggestions on like Marie Hostetler's apartment, like what do you think 1995's apartment would look like for an 85-year-old woman living in the South? Feel free to drop us some comments.
'Cause that's the other thing too. It's like it's 1996, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the key notes I gave Anthony today was don't forget the VCR with the push down.
Yes, the one that makes the sound ka-chunk.
Yes, that's
ka-chunk.
right. Yeah.
And you would be charged 25 cents
if you didn't rewind.
If you didn't rewind. So, you know, we're trying to make sure that we're being authentic to the time period.
Yeah.
which is
and having fun with it too.
It
right?
is. It is a lot of fun. I was thinking, maybe we could put like a little postcard on there. Maybe she has a friend from Chicago or Nashville or maybe somewhere, I don't know, far away.
Maybe.
So Niagara Falls, maybe a save the date for her sister's upcoming wedding in Shakespeare's Christmas. So little things like that. So we're having a lot of fun creating.
You've got her schedule up there, although that's not the final version, but it's the idea that Lily has her cleaning schedule that she's sort of keeping to. And
it's funny, like, think about it this way. If you're looking at that particular photo of the bedroom, what is in everybody's bedroom these days? Probably a laptop, maybe like a little docking station for your phone.
Who has alarm clocks anymore like that, right?
Is there an alarm clock?
Yeah, there's an alarm clock right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. We should get like the little wind-up one, and if you click, it goes bring.
No.
It's
that'll be fun to sample.
No. So we're really excited about that art, and I'm glad you guys like the art style. We're very excited to be working with Anthony, and we have another artist that's coming on board as well to do more of the character portraits so that Anthony can focus solely on the environment. So you're going to be able to explore the Hostetler apartment and the York's apartment and the O'Hagans and Norval. To explore all of those locations.
Although you don't explore Norval's apartment in the book. But this is where we get to play, and you get to play as well. So
maybe we break into Norval's apartment. I don't know.
Maybe in the alternate storyline you have to do that.
Oh.
You start to see what's possible.
I know. I'm pretty excited.
It's exciting, yeah.
It is exciting.
It's fun to sort of play in this world.
It's like we're making a sim.
Well, kind of, sort of, yeah.
Playing The Sims.
That's right.
So Charlaine gets to see that, and she gets to see some other stuff that we're not showing you.
That's right.
But you'll get to see it in good time.
Yep.
And
so that's just sort of where we're at right now, and we know enough now of just what we want the look of the game to be, how it's going to feel within the engine, and we think we're ready to start full-time production, such as it is, for we know what we need to do now. And
won't that be cool to be able to play the first 10 minutes by the end of the month, by the end of July?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I got a lot of work to do and some maps and stuff, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To sort of see those choices start to manifest and wrap back on themselves. And
And to get people's feedback and I'm really excited to see what Charlaine has to say about all this. We're certainly not. We don't have the production of HBO. We don't have, HBO's budget and NBC's budget, bigger still. But
Paquin is nearby in Toronto if you wanted to.
I'll just call Anna Paquin up and ask her if she'll do the voiceovers.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're hoping to. Well, we're going to try and ask.
We're going to talk to some people.
Yes. There's
budget forthcoming for that.
Budget forthcoming. But I would really love a particular actress to do our voiceover work.
To have that where everything you look and click on, it's got this southern twang and style of that.
Lily's attitude.
Yeah,
everything is through the lens of Lily and her attitude.
So we're almost at the 30-minute mark. Let's just quickly wrap up a few things.
So you finished reading all the books.
Yep, I finished Counselor this week.
And so you've seen the full arc of Lily.
Yeah. And I got to say, I don't know who else has sort of read all of the books at this point, but I was sad at the end.
Really?
To know that there's no more Lily. It's that's something maybe
No, don't pressure into that.
No, but just to sort of know that it ends with that particular line, and it's like, and I just want it to keep on going. I've come to enjoy this little town and I'm really thrilled to be able to bring it to life. Right? That's I guess that's what I'm feeling most of all, is that now it's in our hands, so we're gonna. That's kind of fun.
I'm really excited. Can you tell that I'm excited? If you can't tell that I'm excited, then you're obviously not watching.
We love questions. What's that mean?
We love questions. So yes, feel free to leave questions on the Facebook page. We're going to start doing the campaign to accumulate all of our questions because, in case you missed it at the beginning, Charlaine will be on our podcast on July the 28th. we're going to be, by then she'll have a chance to have reviewed quite a bit of their content, and
stuff will be very playable.
You know, we're going to be able to talk about the Lily Bard project. I imagine quite a few you will have some questions about Midnight. We'll try not to overload her with too many Midnight questions and True Blood questions.
Well, Bobo is relevant, I guess.
That's true. That's true. But, you know,
Bobby.
Bobert. Bobert? No.
And so where do we hope to go? What's sort of coming up, or what do we want to sort of have?
Topics for the podcast? I don't know. In fact, you know, feel free to give us your topics. You know, if there's something that you would like to see us cover as we are going through the development of this, let us know. We're very open to feedback, and really we want this to be not a weekly thing of us recapping the same old story over and over again.
Yeah.
We want to bring something that's new and relevant to the people who are watching and the people who are listening. And how about Bo? And it has such a nice ring to it, you know, Bo.
I guess I got stuck on the Bob. Bob.
Well, a Bubba?
Bubba? No, he's not a Bubba.
He's not a Bubba.
No.
I kind of like Bo. Ellen, I think that's a great idea, Bo. And
Ellen, you just changed all my design documents. Thanks a lot.
Well, hear the audible reader saying, Bo Winthrop, because she has like that nice little lilty thing.
Yeah.
So if you haven't listened to it on Audible, it really is a lot of fun.
I can't remember the voice actress's name right now, but I will give a shout out to her in the next episode.
You mean for the Audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She's great, right?
And you know, we should probably just put some links on our Facebook page saying if you haven't, here's where you can find.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And in the coming weeks, yes.
Yeah.
We're going to start to ramp up the lilybard.com page. So it has the repository of the podcast. So if you missed a few and you want to go back, you'll be able to go through because it is available on iPod right now, iTunes, and through the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
That you can listen to our podcasts. And
Rebecca Johnson has a question.
Oh, you know what? That is a great question. Now, Rebecca, I'm actually going to copy and paste it to make sure that we ask Charlaine. But Rebecca says, I would like to know what Charlaine would change or reimagine if the Shakespeare series was set in 2017.
I got to say, that is something that's jarring in the first couple of pages of Shakespeare's Trollop. Lily whips out her cell phone. And it's like, whoa!
You mean like her cell phone?
No, Littlefoot guy kind of thing. And it just, she's now can make calls. And I mean, that changes everything in designing the game.
Ooh.
Right? Because now you have instant communication. And
we're going to be busy.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, but I think that's a really great question is, you know, when you look at the topics that are covered in the series as a whole, violence and some child abuse and more sexual violence, it's, you know what, none of that stuff has gone away in 20 years. It's still
sadly
prevalent. Yes, it's still prevalent. It's still topical. And but it would be interesting because, like, for example, we talk about how, you know, I bet you the town nosy busybodies would have probably Googled Lily. And they would know.
Yeah.
Maybe that would change the dynamics in the town. Maybe she would have some more support, or maybe she would have some...
Or seek support sooner.
So, yeah, that's a really good question, Rebecca. And I definitely want to ask that to Charlaine. So make sure you mark your calendars to have a date with us on the 28th of July, which is a Friday. We're doing this Fridays at 3:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
And by then, we're going to be making sure that all of her 200,000 Facebook followers know about what we're doing, because Charlaine will also be putting that out there. So the sooner you get your questions in, the better. And we're going to start talking about that on the next week's show and ramp up the question queue for Charlaine. So,
but stuff starts to come together this week, and all of our notes go into the system, and that's going to be exciting to see.
Ooh, goody.
Got to get you off accounting and into this stuff now. So
yes, I would like to do fun, creative things.
Yes.
So All right. Thank you so much for tuning in on the Friday of the long weekend. Happy Canada Day to our
Happy
Canadian viewers.
Independence Day, July 4th to
Yes.
our American viewers.
Please do not set off fireworks in your face. That is a no. Drive safely. Have some Southern iced tea for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we will see you next Friday at 3 o'clock. Cheers.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.